What's up, everybody? King of FOMO here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Make sure you follow me over there on CocoScope, as well as my Telegram channel, t.me/KingofFOMO1. You should be watching this on my King of FOMO Gem Hunters channel, so make sure that you subscribe to this, because I'll be talking about some smaller niche things on here that won't really make it onto my primary channel, or well, everything will be on my CocoScope channel. So if you follow me there, everything you will see everything. Okay, so we're gonna start this video and we're gonna talk all about smart contracts. I don't really have an organizational flow that I'm going to go with here, but I'm just gonna dig into all the smart contracts that I'm currently looking at. And this doesn't mean that I'm endorsing them, promoting them, or telling you to join them, or saying that I'm about to join them. It's just kind of me taking a look at things. All right, so first up, we'll look at Etherchain. So the biggest news out of all these smart contracts is that Etherchain has been verified. So if we go to the smart contract address here, we go over, click on contract, you can see here that the entire code is indeed pasted here. So this is really, really good news to know that there are no exit functions in this code whatsoever, to know that it functions the way that it's supposed to function. However, something that you should keep in mind is just because the contract's verified doesn't mean that it won't run out of Ethereum. It is coded in a way where eventually, as time goes on, there will be less and less Ethereum in the contract. But as long as people are putting more in here, it will continue to grow, and it could continue to last longer. It has an all-time high of 9,000 Ethereum in it. It's almost matching that of Ethereum Gold, which currently has about 14,000 Ethereum in it. And we'll talk a little bit about Ethereum Gold too. But you know, it looks like this one could last a little bit longer. Now, would I put more Ethereum in here? Maybe a little bit, but honestly, I wouldn't go too crazy, because honestly, with these percent daily contracts, at a certain point in time, it's not really smart to double down on it. It's smarter to kind of just look for something else that's similar. Another thing that they added here was a Telegram bot, so that is available for you guys to see what's going on with your contract, if people are buying into it, or if you're earning, or if you're doing deposits. Everything will be shown in the Telegram bot if you don't want to log into the website over and over again. And I like that measure for two reasons. Number one, like if the website does go down into maintenance or anything like that, you can use the smart contract now to write and interact with it, do withdrawals, that kind of thing, because it's verified. You can also look at the Telegram bot if there's any website issues, and since it's connected to the blockchain, you won't have to worry about anything. So I have about 4.27 Ethereum to withdraw from here. So let's just take a look at what the gas prices are going to be. Gas prices are pretty darn low, so I'm going to go ahead and take that and do that withdrawal. So I'll confirm that, and that should hit my wallet. Now I put in 4.1 Ethereum in here, and I've so far taken out 7.3. So it's been working out extremely nicely for me. So next up, we can talk about the Beehives game. So this is actually a clone of Beehives called MOONHIVES. I think this might be a crap clone. Now, the contract might be verified, but honestly, it would be up in the air if you guys want to try and when it's a crap clone, it doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. It should work the same way as Beehives, but like, I don't know, it's like everything is completely copied and pasted, and take that for what you may. ETHERHIVES, on the other hand, is doing pretty okay. Now, at this point in time, honestly, you guys should always follow the Telegram communities, always do your own research. It really, really depends on when you're watching my videos in terms of whether or not you should jump into this stuff. Now, personally, with ETHERHIVES, what you really should be looking at is how much Ethereum is in the contract itself. So far, there's been 1,000 Ethereum being put in here so far, and you have to look at the rate in which is being taken out of the contract, and if that rate is going too fast, then obviously it's not worth investing in anymore. But I haven't really looked at it. I've already gotten ROI from here, so I'm going to kind of let it run. I don't think I'm going to buy any I don't think I'm going to buy any more bees. I think I'm going to keep it at where I am right here. Maybe I'll upgrade in the Bitcoin, but I definitely won't go to the Bro Bee. And you know, we'll see. We'll kind of just ride this out from here on out. So that is ETHERHIVES. Some other contracts we can get into are the Tron ones. So these are the percent daily Tron ones. These are kind of hot right now. I don't know why people are loving these things, but just some things to keep in mind here. Just be smart with these ones. A lot of people have been asking me or linking me to some of these things, and like, I don't join unless I'm there day one. If it's day 3 or 4 or 5, like no way, because like the chances are you're going to lose out much higher if you join later in these percent daily contracts, because I mean they're coded to drain eventually. That's just the way that they work. Now obviously if you're doing something like this, it's always smartest to pick the highest percentage. It's pretty dumb to pick the low percentage in these contracts, even though it's quote unquote forever. Like it's a smart contract, you can just reinvest forever and get 18 days. So always do the higher percentage in there. But like this is Bank of Tron. I'm not in this one. I'm pretty sure I'm already too late from here. I don't know what day this contract is at, but it's already at 138 million Tron, which is way too expensive for my blood. Ethdiamond is another one. I know the screen might be looking like this for some of you guys, so I'm aware of that, and I'm going to try and personally upgrade the UI myself. I'm not really going to rely on anybody else, because when I rely on other people, they do bad jobs. So I got to figure it out myself. Right now the contract balance is at 40 Ethereum. The low was about like 36, so it's gone up a little bit. And I have been following through with what I said, where I'm doing deposits of my 15K and putting it in here. But I'm not announcing when I do that, or telling, hey, I already did it, or I did it there, I'm about to do it now, because that's not a smart thing for me to do. But for those of you who have been in and who haven't really sold, you have been getting dividends. Now what I'll say about this one is this: like, a lot of people are just confused about like what I mean by long term, because a lot of these contracts, they launch and then they just lose support. Like nobody wants to carry the weight anymore, but I'm going to carry the weight of Ethdiamond for the duration. And like one of the main I guess concerns that people have is that the divs are too high. Nobody's gonna want to do this. The divs are too high. But like it doesn't, like, truthfully, it doesn't matter what the divs are. It doesn't matter if the divs are 90% or 1%, because the divs and token value are basically the same thing. Like it's just which weight is the weight going on the token value, or is the weight going on the divs? In this contract, the weight is going on the divs. So for people saying it's not worth holding, well, yeah, it is worth holding. You will lose 50% when you buy in, but you're gonna get a crap ton more divs by holding for an extended period of time. As the contract drops, or as the contract goes up, you're going to get a crap ton more divs. So like me personally, now my situation is a little bit different, because since I was one of the first people to buy, and the token ratio gets really messed up when you start buying later. But personally, like, I could have sold all of my tokens for 29 Ethereum at the top, but you can see right here, I didn't, and now my tokens are worth about 5 Ethereum, but I have 20 Ethereum worth of divs. So that's what I mean by, like, it evens out. Since these divs are way higher, I kind of knew that was going to happen. I knew that, like, if this thing dumps, it doesn't matter, because the divs are going to make up for the token value that I lose over time, because the divs are so high. So like I said, as I'm going to continue to support this thing, and as I just personally put in more of my own Ethereum, you're going to get divs over time. And hopefully as things pick up speed, maybe as I upgrade the UI, as other things happen and other people put more in, you're going to get divs over time. So that's the way that I'm playing Ethdiamond, is I'm writing it for the divs. I do not really care at all about the value of my tokens, because I'm not really planning on selling my tokens, at least in the short period of term on this account. So that is Ethdiamond. We'll get into Gandiji/ETHGold too. We'll see if I get a copyright strike again on this channel, because people like to strike my channel when I talk bad about their contract that they like, and we'll get into those reasons too. But here's another one, Dividends Network. Now, I did buy into here. Now, my only thing about these other contracts that use their own coins, like, again, you run into the issue of you need like support. You need people to carry the weight for a long time on these things. And I don't know if any like new game that releases can carry the weight. Like when you have a game like Bank of Tron or something like that runs on its own. You don't need to carry the weight, because it's doing its thing every day. But when you have a contract like Ethdiamond or like Dividends Network, you need people to actually talk about it. You need people to actually grow it over time in order for interest to be there. Otherwise, like, this always happens. So this thing launched and it had like a lot of interest on day one. 183 token operations. Now today, 10 operations. 10 people have been doing things in Dividends Network, and it's going to stay that way until it gets support from people. And when I say from people, I don't mean just me, because I can't carry the weight all by myself on a contract that I don't control myself. I'm just not going to do that. I'm hoping that other people will also jump on it. They do have their staking available here. So like the way that it works is, so I staked 342 DVN tokens. 25% is the fee for withdrawing your capital in here. So for actually, getting a profit on top of what you earn. So that means I need to earn about 80, close to about 80 DVN tokens before I start making profit in here. theoretically, because you have to look at the DVN price as well. But right now I have 25 DVN, so it's going to take, and this has been about 3-4 days worth of DVN, so I need to wait maybe 2 weeks, and then I'll be in profit, and technically I can sell for positive DVN ratio, but I'm not sure what that'll be in dollar ratio, because I'm not sure how the DVN token exchanges in terms of the token itself. So that is that one. We talked about EtherHives already, and MOONHIVES. I mean, maybe I'll leave a link to MOONHIVES. Maybe I'll play this one a little bit. I have to look into when this one started exactly, because honestly, like I said, these things, I like to do them early, because it's kind of easy profits if you do them like day one. But this one, again, has 614 million Tron in it, so it might be too late. I might skip that one altogether, even though it's a direct kind of a infringement clone of the other one. And I guess finally we can talk about Gandhiji, unless I think about something else. I think I've mentioned mostly everything. Goosebet, I was going to talk about Goosebet. I'm not really into these gambling dApps, because the learning curve is just too high for me at the current moment. I don't really know how to talk about them very well. But the other contract is Gandhiji / Ethereum Gold. So I've been waiting for those to dump before I really go crazy on Ethdiamond, but in all reality, I don't think that Gandhiji or ETH Gold will dump majorly anytime soon. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to pump majorly anytime soon either. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you do your research and you look at the people that are holding those tokens, there's at least one person in that contract that has $37 million worth of Ethereum. So it's in their best interest to keep it at over 10,000 Ethereum in there, and it's not going to cost them anything to do that. What that means is if they have all the tokens in the contract, or the majority of the tokens, the first half of the tokens in the contract, they can use it like a bank. Because I mean, if they have $37 million in their normal ETH wallet, they can just keep 1,000 Ethereum or 10,000 Ethereum in the Gandhiji contract forever, and just collect divs like I'm kind of doing with Ethdiamond, collecting divs. So that's what I do think is going to happen with Gandhiji and Ethereum Gold. I don't think that it's going to dump super duper low. Now, does it mean it's worth buying into? I mean, you have to kind of really determine that on your own. Again, it really depends on what the honestly, I just don't see it jumping up to double the amount of Ethereum again, unless that $37 million whale wants to pump it again, because I mean they can afford the entire contract. They can afford to pump it, at least double or even triple the value of what it is right now. But it needs to have its own hype after that too from other people in order for them to be worth doing for that. So yeah, I don't that's kind of my thought process with that contract. I don't know if it's going to rise that much higher. I think it's kind of just going to be stagnant and move sideways for the duration. And when I say the duration, I mean pretty much the same as P3D, because that one, again, P3D has a couple thousand Ethereum in it as well, and it's been moving sideways for about 2 or 3 years. So Gandhiji will probably do the same thing, especially when you're having a super duper $37 million whale in there. All right, so that is everything. Like I said, I'm looking forward to, hopefully I'll do an update with the UI and Ethdiamond, but like I said, I'm not in a rush for Ethdiamond at all to grow. I might not do deposits in here for another 2 weeks. Maybe I'll do deposits in here tomorrow. Maybe I'll do them in an hour. That I'll never really disclose, but I'm not in a rush to upgrade the website or grow it like crazy or anything like that, because again, it's long term for me. So as time goes on, I'm gonna keep depositing in here and collecting divs, and when I have time to do things with the UI, I'll do that. But if I'm looking at other stuff, I'm not gonna worry about Ethdiamond that much at all. So hopefully you guys understand my process behind this, because I never really looked at this to be a pump and dump. I never really looked at it to be a hey, let's pump it up as high as possible kind of thing. Like I said, it was always long term, and even though it went up to 400 ETH and went down, minus what was that, minus 10x, whatever it is, to 40 ETH, I'm still pretty bullish and pretty positive on this overall. So if you're holding tokens, yeah, of course you can sell out now if you need the ETH and you miscalculated, but if you don't sell out over time, you should be collecting some divs from, at the very least, me, and hopefully from other people as they see the vision, kind of like how people saw the vision in Gandhiji. I'm hoping that the same thing will be true for Ethdiamond. If you've been following these types of contracts since P3D, since they actually started, you'll understand that sometimes it takes like a year for them to gain traction. But if it does take that long, and you're in it for that long, and you've been from the beginning, you will be the one to reap the biggest reward, as opposed to a lot of people are just impatient. They're like, man, it's not moving. What's happening? I lost 25%. What will I do? Like, come on, man. It's the divs that you're looking for. And if you lost 25% from buying too much at the top, then you have two options. Just like sell at a loss, because it's going to take you a while to get back even with divs, or double down and wait over time, and you'll get back to that point in half the amount of time, hopefully. So that's everything for today, guys. Hopefully that kind of educates you guys on what the smart contracts I'm doing. I guess I'm mostly excited about Etherchain. We'll see what happens with this thing. I'm sure it'll pass 10,000 ETH. It's just hard for me to predict. The other thing is, if a clone of Etherchain comes out, that would be great. Like if I can compare the code for Etherchain and Etherchain 2. I love clones. I love clones that use the same contract. So I'm not sure how. I gotta look into the contract a little bit more, to be honest. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. That would be very helpful. And if you have any other smart contracts that you want to share with me, a lot of people have been messaging me things, and again, the majority of them have been things like Bank of Tron. But if you have anything that's new, because I'll look at it, but if it's 4 days old and you're showing me something like this, I'm not going to join it. But feel free to send it to me on Telegram or on my YouTube channel. All right, guys, catch you in the next video. Peace out.